Let's make this episode a special one by just being ourselves and loving ourselves just the way we are. Lego. I got this brother name right here. Phillip Scott podcast. He's talking about the Charlie Kirk and the DEI. He says on here somebody made Charlie Kirk look crazy about the DEI. Let's take a look at this. Let's go. Let's see what he's talking about.
So everyone knows Charlie Kirk from Turning Point USA. You know, he runs around here. He tries to go on college campuses and try to debate people about his whining about DEI. And, you know, we know all his anti-black racist talking points. We know his tendencies, but he decided to try to go back and forth with a brother on United Airlines, wanted to institute a policy where they wanted 50% of their pilots to be either women. And when you hear women, they mean white women or black, right? Either or women or black. So white women and black folks. And Charlie Kirk has an issue with that. Now,
diversity. That's just not white people. I mean, it's just not black people and women, first of all. You got Indians, Mexicans, and Chinese, and you got all kind of people. So it's just not black people. It's just not women. It's everybody, first of all.
I want you to listen to how this brother responded to it.
For example, United Airlines said that they want 50% of their new pilots to either be
But in this example, what they're using, it's
women or black.
Okay.
Currently,
women are black.
just so you understand, it's like 8%. So they want to go from 8% to 50%.
Okay.
And every time DEI is implemented, every single time, the lowering of standards occurs. Every single time.
Lowering of standards?
Correct. So can I prove it to you? We both want excellence, right?
Okay.
If you and I said, hey, we want 50% of the new people going in the NBA are white.
Okay.
Would the NBA drop in its standard?
Yes.
Vibration can crystallize matter into forms like a spinal column, complete with movement like...
Yes. If you're just getting whites and Mexicans and Chinese people off the street that are not qualified, then yes. Oh, well, they make and shoot basketball. But if they're not, if you got 50%, you got some Mexicans out there, and they 5'8", 5'7", 5'2". They ain't gonna be able to do nothing with Shaq.
No.
That's a lie.
The National Basketball League?
No, if we said 50%, if we say by
50% of the NBA dropped and it was only white.
No,
you're saying would the standard go down?
I'm not hearing what I'm saying. If 50% of all new people going in the NBA were white, by decree, would the quality of play of the NBA decrease?
Would the quality of play in the NBA decrease?
Yes.
No, if they're the same standard of basketball play.
Hold on, let's talk realistic.
Well, what are you saying realistically? You're asking me if
75% of the NBA is black. 75%.
So does that
the TV ratings going down, the sponsors are leaving, the money is leaving because ain't nobody watching that shit. Ain't nobody dunking, ain't no throwing no alley oops. Goddamn, it's gonna go back to the old 1915 basketball, and don't nobody want to see that shit.
Does that mean white players are less better, or does that mean
whites are not as good at basketball as blacks?
Okay.
I mean, we got some big.
Everybody, calm down.
We got some big exceptions. I mean,
we're now saying,
unless you got 50% and you're holding the standard up to be qualified, which that's gonna be damn near impossible to get to put 50% in that are all qualified. That's, I mean, like I said, they probably can shoot, but we're talking about they can hoop. They got hops, they can hoop, they can dunk, throw alley oops, shoot trays. Everybody gonna have to be on the same level. But if you just putting 50% in there, no, it's not gonna be the same.
We're very proud of Larry Bird, okay?
No, he's
and
good. He's good.
We're very proud of Luka and Nikola. However, the point being, let's implement DEI in the NBA.
Okay.
If all of a sudden 50% of all the players have to be white, which means they have to say no to otherwise good black players.
You know there was a time where this happened, right?
Well, no, I of course, and the league wasn't as good. That's the
But
point.
no, you understand that there was a time where the exclusion of African American players was in the NBA, right?
No, for sure. I acknowledge that. And the league got better as blacks were allowed in.
Did it get better, or did we just integrate ourselves in?
Well, hold on. No, but wait.
It got better.
The players in the league averages around that time weren't worse. We just got better.
Hold on. Do you actually think that, why is it that 75% of the NBA is black?
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, well, it was a certain point around 1965
No, why
where
is
a
it?
law
Answer the
passed where
question.
we can actually...
Why is it that 75% of the NBA is black?
Because we integrated into the league.
No, because the best players are allowed to play in the NBA.
Well, actually, the best players in the NBA are European born.
Well,
They're not even African American.
I mean, a couple of
These went crazy.
them are. As I said, we're very proud.
No, we're very integrated within sports, but what does that prove?
The proves that the NBA is not built on DEI, it's built on excellence.
Now, this brother, did a good job in responding to Charlie Kirk.
No, he did.
With, I guess very elementary surface level. And I'm not saying the brother's elementary at all. That's not what I'm saying. Because Charlie Kirk isn't some intellectual juggernaut that you really need to respond to. But if I had to be asked that question about DEI in United Airlines, I don't know why he wants to go to the NBA as an example when the NBA is owned by white folks.
What they got to do with the players? I respectfully disagree, my brother. But what they got to do with the players?
All the owners are white. So the question is, why are the white owners hiring all these black players? That would be the question.
Because they play better in they want excellence. Like he's saying, they want excellence in basketball. So therefore, you need to get these people that are very athletic to play basketball. And go ahead and see.
Should be had. But
think of your liver like a mailroom. Everything that goes into your body, yep, everything.
If 8% of United Airlines, if their workforce or pilots is, black or white women, and they want to move to 50%.
The world is bigger than black and white. Women is bigger than black and white. You got a whole bunch of people. But even Charlie Kirk, said black, but it's more than black and white. It got women and, like I say, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Taiwan, Taiwan, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
The first thing I would ask Charlie Kirk is you said that anytime DEI is implemented, it's a lowering of standards. Show me proof that United Airlines, for the current pilots that they have now, the 8%, where is your factual evidence, proof, tangible proof, like the court of law? Where's your proof that they lowered the testing requirement, they lowered the flight time hours, they lowered the experience, just so they can hire a black pilot? Show me that, right? And if you can't,
you probably won't be able to show that.
Show me that, or any factual evidence, you're making it up, and you're coming across as an anti-black racist.
But if they came across and hired just because they need to fill those spots, these people didn't pass the test. That's what he's talking about. Like, they didn't pass the test, and they lowered the standards. Like, hey, you supposed to make it 80, you made a 75, but hey, you come on in because we need you because you're black, or we need you because you're a woman, we need you because you're Chinese, we need you because you're Asian. Then yes, that would lower the standards. But if they keeping the standards up and then everybody that's taking the test move, then no.
To say that black pilots aren't qualified merely because they're black, you're saying that because they're black, that United Airlines would have to lower their testing requirements, flight time hours, experience, and everything just to hire a black pilot, which you're promoting anti-black racism. Then he thought he could be slick and use the NBA. Now, the brother definitely retorted him very well to try to say what was wrong with white players, basically. What you're saying about white players. In his...
He's saying that white players not better than black players. That's what he's saying, which is true. For the majority, for the most part, you do have some white players, all kind of players that are better than black players. But for the majority, the black person is going to be the most athletic and the best players on the in the NBA for the most part.
This mind, white players are inferior to black players. But let's say the NBA says today, hey, you know what? Next season, we need to increase the white players in the NBA up to 50%.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see an issue with it. If those white players can play, if those white players can play match the level and intensity of the other players in the league, okay, let them do it. I don't have an issue with it. You know why?
Right, but they're not going to match. If you just putting in 50%, they're not going to match it because they're not in there now. They're not going to match the same level of play. That's just, they're not going to match it.
I don't have an issue if they said today they want 50% white players that's coming in because the league is owned by white folks. We don't have any say-so in the NBA. We don't own it.
Right, we don't have any say-so, but it's still going to lower the skill level of the league. It's not going to be the same. They're going to go back to shooting free throws underhanded, like throwing in a basket or something. It's going to be a lot of passing. It ain't going to be no dunk. Ain't going to be no dunking. Like, the level of play will decrease. Like, come on, man. Stop it.
We have no say-so in the NFL. We don't own it. We aren't none of the owners. We aren't the GMs. We aren't any of that. We aren't the commissioner. We never have been. So what can we really say? Black players.
Okay, so what can you really say about the airplane? If that's your argument, then what you gonna say about the airplanes? Because you don't own airplanes. So what you gonna say about that?
Players are employees. They're not owners.
Black people don't own American Airlines or Southwest or none of that shit. Don't own none of them things. So if they wanted to, from his argument right now, what you saying is they could do it. They could do that right now. Hell, they could take you off YouTube.
So those owners are the ones that's passing over the white players. If he got an issue with that, hey, you know how I feel about it. They can make the whole NBA all white. I'm cool with it. You can make the whole NFL all white too. I'm cool with that too.
What about all YouTube?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Do it. Bring in the DEI. Go ahead. I'm cool with that, actually. I would love to see the attendance for those games. I would love to see how the merchandising would be done for those games. I would love to watch it just with no black players and just kind of see how it goes. But they're not going to do that because those owners are in the business of making money.
He all over the place, but like my channel, like you saying this, that's what he's saying. He agreeing with Charlie Kirk. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Is he not agreeing with the man?
But people like Charlie Kirk, you know, he tried to basically say that white players are less than, or white people are less than the black people in the area of basketball. That's what he was saying. So his guys was black people are less than the white people who will pilot airplanes. That's really what he was trying to make the connection at and try to get this.
If you put in 50%, what he's saying is you want excellence. So don't bring, if you qualify for it, you can get it. But don't just get it just because you trying to raise your quota on hiring or being diverse. Like you can fly the plane. You're qualified. Excellence. You can get it. You can get it in the NBA if you have the excellence. That's what he's saying. Like, you want the top players. I think everybody wants the top minds flying planes. No. Yes. We are more athletic. Flying a plane. How many people how many black people trying to fly planes? Like, well, now you trying to do, well, and they give me the black and white. But let's just talk black and white. How many black people are trying to be pilots? And I'm pretty sure all the black people that's trying to be pilots are probably a damn pilot. They probably not sitting on the sideline like waiting or whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they pilots, because the people that's trying to be pilots, like, everybody ain't trying to be pilots. So what he's saying, if you implement DEI, hey, if I see a black pilot, or I see a Chinese pilot, or I see a woman pilot, I hope they're capable. When I step on the plane, if it's a white person, whoever it is, I don't care who it is, I hope they have, or hope they're qualified. I don't care what color they are. I hope they're qualified.
This brother to take that bait, and that brother did not take that bait. That brother was very smart, not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Charlie Kirk made himself look stupid because he made white people look less than. But when you have guys like Charlie Kirk, you got to tell them, where's your factual evidence? Where's your evidence of the lowering of standards? Where's your evidence? Show me proof of a test for a white pilot and a black pilot. Show me the proof of that. I want to know, because let's call it what it is. I don't want no pilot being let in on an airplane, of all things.
That's true.
Have to have less experience. The testing is not as strenuous, and they don't have the flight time. I don't want to deal with no pilot like that.
Correct.
Because when I'm on these planes, I just came back from Ethiopia, and I did the first flight was about 5 hours. So from Addis Ababa to Istanbul, had a layover, and then from Istanbul back to Houston was about a little less than 12 hours. Right? I want to see the pilot that gonna get me to and from.
Correct.
That's how I feel about it.
Correct.
But what United Airlines is saying, we could bring in some black pilots who are qualified to get people to and from. We're not going to lower the standards. We're not going to do that. But we want to bring in more diversity into our company. And that is.
I think it's just a misunderstanding, because I think he's saying if they're qualified, yeah, they can get there. But and like he said, show proof of. I feel what he's saying. Show proof of where this is. Show proof of where the testing standards are lowered. But pilots and everything, that ain't the only thing. I mean, that ain't the only thing. Shit, like I said, we need to go to Chile. If you go to Chili's or Applebee's, shit, we need these waiters to be qualified. Just because it's Chili's or Applebee's don't mean people still don't need to be qualified. Whatever job, you don't need to be qualified. And the DEI don't need to lower the standards. The standards need to be good for everything, because you in Applebee's, shit, like I say, women are there over there talking. They ain't even your goddamn drink been empty for 30 minutes, and they ain't even came over here to holler at you. Till you at the point now where you like, man, I'm about to go, because they tripping. They ain't even came and got the money yet. Like, well, let me go. So, hey,
it's good for them to do that. That's right, because you want to show that your company looks like America. That's really what it is. It's no issue or problem. But people like Charlie Kirk, because he's an anti-black racist, and he don't like to see that. And that's what
I think women and transgender on his, well, they were on him. Like, it ain't just the black people. I think he was having a problem with a lot of groups.
people like Charlie Kirk, what I would tell them is, Why don't you move to an Eastern European country, a very homogenous European country, right? That's 90+% your people. Just move there. Listen, Charlie, it's easier for you to move to Eastern Europe than it would be for you to implement what you want to see. It'd be so much easier. What Charlie don't understand, the children right now under 18, the majority of the children in this country right now are not white. White people are the minority with children under 18. They're going to be the minority. It's bottom line. And they can kick, they can scream. I know it's a nightmare scenario for them, but you're going to be the minority. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. And you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with black pilots. You have to deal with some white women pilots, whatever the case may be. And I don't know what he complained about white women for, because most white women, when they are in relationships, they're in relationships with white men. And if this white woman pilot is married to a white man, then guess where her money is going? Back into the white community.
Still need to be qualified. Whoever, and we already agree. I mean, I agree with him. He ain't agree with me. He ain't talking to me, but I agree with him that whoever it is need to be qualified.
So what is he complaining about? But his biggest issue with white women is that he don't like white women to have any kind of career because they ain't gonna listen to him. But that's their issue, their problem. I don't get involved in white folks' relationships, nothing to do with me. But that's really what his issue is about white women. But now, and these folks throw millions of dollars at Charlie Kirk. He's a bumbling idiot. He's a bumbling idiot. Listen, y'all can spend y'all money on a white person.
Now, see how people hurl insults and say things, and then when somebody insult or like if Charlie Kirk would call him a bumbling idiot, let's say we call him a bumbling black idiot, but Charlie Kirk would have been racist. That's what he would have said. Hey, what's the name? Phillip Scott. You're a bumbling idiot. You're a bumbling black idiot. He called me a bumbling black idiot. He's racist. Or is he racist because he called Charlie Kirk a bumbling,
person that actually got some sense? But he's not one of them. If you're going to make an accusation about...
That's what I'm saying. He said he ain't got no sense. Man. People crazy nowadays. Like you can say anything about him, and then he gonna be racist. But I mean, you can say anything about him, and you won't take that as racist. You won't say that that's racist. But if he said that same thing to you, he'll be racist. He said to me, I don't give a damn. You can say what you want to say. I'm gonna keep pushing. I know what I am. It don't matter. And I'm gonna keep pushing. Now you touch me, that's a different thing.
United Airlines or any other airline lowering their standards, bring your factual evidence, bring the test, show it, show multiple tests, show it. And then people maybe listen to you a little bit more on you whining about DEI. Because the fact is, what they don't, my God.
This will be the last video I make for now. I'm being threatened and I don't want to put my family at risk.
Okay. Well, that's the end of that though. Like, the hell? That's a touchy little subject. It's kind of back and forth. I don't know. Y'all get me up here. I already talked too much. If you find this content valuable, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Like always, love yourself, treat yourself, don't beat yourself. Holla.